Well, Jude, it's largely a calm atmosphere. The reason which can largely be attributed to some reforms that were introduced, ahead of the resumption of the military recruitment exercise here in the Greater Accra region. At the Elwak Stadium here, a number of candidates have trickled in to ensure that they go through the process. I got here as early as 5:40 a.m. and at the time I arrived, these candidates had come here in their numbers. I can confirm to you that security is heavy here. No, we know that the Ghana Armed Forces earlier announced that they're going to have this exercise in batches and that candidates are only expected to report to the various centers on their scheduled day. And today, the military hierarchy ensuring that that is complied to. When you get to the entrance, they will verify whether or not you are indeed scheduled to be at the Elwak Stadium today. And then there is a waiting space. From the waiting space, you are directed to a place where your details would be verified, and then you go through the other procedures. I want to engage one of the officers. She's actually the director of protocol for the Ghana Armed Forces, Colonel Evelyn Asamoah, who has been here since dawn when I arrived, monitoring the exercise to ensure that everything is in place. Colonel, good morning, and you are live on Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne.
Yes, good morning, and welcome to Elwak.
Yes, thank you very much. So far, so good?
So far, so very, very good. You can see for yourself. So very good. Everything is going on smoothly, and honestly, it's the best.
Right. For those who are watching at home, for the candidates who are watching at home and are yet to come here, run them by what they should expect when they get here. What are the various, points of contact?
Well, I wouldn't say this. We have 5 centers, different centers, and this is the Elwak Center, and each center has its way of demarcation, but it's almost similar. So what we do is that when you come, we put you at the holding area where we ask you to get your documents ready. Then you get to the scanning side where your summary sheet is scanned to see whether you belong to the list for the day. From there, when you qualify from that side, you move to the IT table desk, where each document is verified by the information technology team. And then from there, you qualify from there, or you pass from that stage, you are then guarded or guided to the body selection area.
What's the target for today? We know that the Ghana Armed Forces earlier announced the target number for each day. Has that changed? And if it has, what's the new target?
Well, we sent a presser indicating that we're going to take care of 600 people per day. But we had information from Kumasi that they were able to do about 1,000 people. Then we realized that then we could also handle similar numbers. And even with that, we had some centers, other regions that had finished with this first phase. So we've had extra hands, that the officials who were in those regions coming down to assist us. So with these extra hands, we realized we'll be able to take care of more people. So initially with the 600 per center, we are now going for 800. And Elwak, for example, as you are seeing, we have one center, but 2 teams. So each team now is going to take care of 800. So at the end of the day, we are envisaging getting about 1,600.
1,600
yes, per day, for the day. Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the arrangements that the Ghana Armed Forces has also put in place to ensure, the exercise, I must confirm, has largely been peaceful and safe. But beyond what we are seeing, have you made any more arrangements to ensure the safety of these, candidates as regards water?
Oh, yes, of course. You can see that it's very sunny. And these arrangements were made earlier on during the unfortunate incident that happened. We had this arrangement made to have a seamless exercise, but unfortunately the situation didn't allow us the moment to show the arrangements made. So we have water available. Feeding is on themselves, but water is available. Of course, people will be thirsty, especially with this hot weather. So free water is available for them. And then we have food vendors who have been accredited to sell within the space or within the premises. So you realize that at least everything is wholesome, and they have the liberty to seek permission to eat something whenever any of them feels the need for it. Yeah.
So the numbers that you are targeting here, which is 1,600 at the end of today, is this same for the other centers elsewhere?
Well, I'm saying 1,600 because we're having 2 centers. But then where at Eastern Naval Command Tema, for instance, where it's going to be just a center, we are envisaging between the 600 and 800. And then the other one center, which is the Air Force Base, Accra, in Bema Camp, also we are envisaging just about 600, 800. But in areas like Nicholson and the training and doctrine command, as well as this place where we have 2 teams in a center, that's where we are going to have the number doubling. Yes. So.
Ken, are you able to tell us how many candidates have gone through the process so far?
Okay, as of 0800, I can't say that's when I have everything. As of 0800, it's now 0945. As of 0800, we had team 2 having about 466 people in, and then team 1 having about 500. So we are still compiling the list, and then we'll update you by 1000 hours.
And you want to also confirm that no eventuality or any whatsoever has been?
Nothing so far has been recorded. No eventuality. It's just that where documents are not all right. We've had 1 case of forgery, and then we are handling it. That's why we have IT specialists at post deployed. So where we identify forgery, we quickly handle it, because we don't want fraudsters joining us in the military.
So one of the candidates, so to speak, purported candidate, came here with forged or fake documents?
Yes, definitely. And the person has been identified, so it's been handled. Yes.
Okay. Colonel, before we go, at the end of the day, for the Ghana Armed Forces, what will be a successful, exercise for you at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, we are looking at handling or taking care of the large numbers and making sure we get the right people to join the armed forces. That's what we are looking at. Definitely, we need able persons, able-bodied men and women to join the armed forces, and we want people who are eligible, who are qualified to do so. So that's what we are looking at, that the qualified persons get the opportunity to join the armed forces and achieve their dreams.
Thank you so much, Colonel. We'll speak to you as the day goes by for any update.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Colonel Evelyn Asamoah is the director of protocol for the Ghana Armed Forces.
Interesting.
She is one of the key people or key personnel on ground ensuring that the process, is run smoothly. She's indicated that they are targeting at least 1,600 people by the end of today, and that is because of a replication that was done in the Ashanti region. They believe that they also willed the capacity to do so, even though they had communicated earlier that they were going to register or take at most 600 candidates for today's exercise. Jude, if you can also hear me, I can tell you that earlier the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament also made a stop here at the Elwak Stadium to monitor the situation, and the committee was led by Chairperson Honorable James Agalga, who is also a Member of Parliament for Bulsa North. They alluded to the fact that indeed it's largely been tranquil. He commended the Ghana Armed Forces and the entire military hierarchy for ensuring that the process so far has been something good to indeed write home about. I also sought from him whether or not he believed that the reforms that has necessitated the level of tranquility in his words are anything to go by in the future. And he indicated to me that indeed the Defense and Interior Committee would have an engagement with the Chief of Defense Staff and the military hierarchy to sort of codify or legislate these reforms to make it a sort of blueprint for future recruitment into the country's military architecture. Jude.
Interesting. So, Fauzo, if you can hear me again, we've seen that beyond the committee, the Defense and Interior Committee's visit to the grounds where this is happening, we've seen some other senior officials also there from the military. Can you explain to us? Hello, Fauzo. Yes, I'm saying that. Can you explain to us some of the other processes they've put in place that makes?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, I'm saying, what are the other, interventions put in place that makes today's process much seamless than what it was before?
Yeah, so Jude, like Colonel Evelyn Asamoah indicated earlier, some of these measures were actually put in place the last time that the unfortunate incident happened, but except that the numbers weren't, controlled as they were supposed to. But today, everything indeed will boil down to effective coordination. The Ghana Armed Forces, we know, announced earlier that you must only show up at the center on your scheduled day, and they are keeping to it today. In fact, even the media, you need accreditation to access certain parts of the registration center. And so, aside coordination, the Ghana Armed Forces has also made visibly present here their officers. I can number close to over 30 military men or men in uniform who are manning affairs here on the ground. There was also an ambulance which has been stationed somewhere behind me for obvious reasons. And when you the various partitions that have also been made also makes it easier for the candidates to navigate through the registration center here. The Colonel Evelyn indicated that there are two teams at the LWAC center, Team A and Team B. Where Team A uses to where they are supposed to register is different from where Team B uses, and this is essentially to control, the flow of traffic, so to speak. So there wouldn't be any case of persons having to gather at one place only just to navigate, and access where they are supposed to report for the actual registration. So, Jude, the partitions have been made to ensure proper, movement by these candidates. There's also been provisions for emergency responses, and indeed the heavy presence of men in uniform here to deter any wrongdoing. And also the Director of Protocol confirmed to us on live television reported candidates came to the center with fake documents, and she indicated that the person is in the grip of authority and they are handling the situation in their own way.
Fauzu, finally, we are also being told that about 600, persons are expected to be recruited today. Can you give us an overview, an estimate of the numbers there, or altogether, should the process conclude, how many applicants are expected to throng to the LWAC Sports Stadium for the process?
That's what the director of protocol indicated in my interview with her earlier. She mentioned that they were targeting 600 candidates, but due to the capacity, their level of capacity, they have confirmed now, they believe strongly that they can do beyond 600. So when you come here at the LWAC Stadium, there are two teams, Team A and Team B. Each team has 800 candidates, and so at the end of the day they are targeting 1,600 candidates to go through today's process. So it's gone past just 600. And so far she's confirmed to us that one team has had over 500 while the other has had over 400. That was some hours ago, so we should be inching close to 1,000 so far.
Right. Thank you for your time this morning, Fauzu Masawood. He's our man on the ground at the LWAC Sports Stadium, following keenly the developments at the ongoing Ghana Armed Forces recruitment. Of course, today's event follows the really tragic one that happened last week, where 6 people lost their lives, under very, very unfortunate circumstances. We are being told that the processes being put in place to ensure that the recruitment process goes on smoothly is much revamped, and also other structures have been put in place to ensure that what happened the last time doesn't recur, and so far so smooth. You have been told that everything is going on smoothly. The Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, led by the chair, Honorable James Agauga, together with other senior members of the committee, including Dr. Zaneto, including Peter Tobu, they were there to monitor, the process as it unfolded. So, Chris, good news, but of course, the point is that did we have to lose 6?
That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
To get something like this running? Well, it makes me wonder.
Yeah, it makes everybody wonder, actually. And that's what happens when you are not proactive or when you refuse to forecast situations or events before actually organizing them. Because forecasting is part of the process of organizing, stuff. But then again, it's nice to see that there is order, and it looks spacious today.
Yeah.
It looks spacious and it's beautifully organized. That's what I can say for now. But good luck to each and every one of them.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I don't really get it when someone comes. You're coming for a military screening and then you are bringing fake
documents
in their zone.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. I know you should do better. I really appreciate and respect their resolve to serve the country. These people put their lives in harm's way for our sake all the time, whether they are conducting operations here, whether they are, on boats looking for, victims of what happened in Akosombo, for example, the dam spillage.
Yeah.
Whether the regiment is constructing a footbridge somewhere, or whether they are literally just protecting us after a violent clash. They put themselves in harm's way for our sake all the time. So we wish them well in their quest to be a part of this really respectable unit. Consistently, the Ghana Armed Forces has been seen or perceived to be the most credible or institution where a lot of these corruption allegations or perceived to be generally transparent. If you look at the Afrobarometer reports, each year the presidency, especially in the last administration, kept going on a downward trajectory.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the military seemed to be doing fairly well in terms of public trust. So we expect them to maintain such high standards, in terms of public perception, in terms of, all that we know them or they are known to do. So we wish them well in the process.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a quick break and